Right, hello folks. I think we're good. I think we're live. Hello. So, welcome to episode 2 of the, what do we call it? The Let's Talk Games. That's the one. Let's Talk Games podcast. We have with us today, as usual, the lovely Charlie. Say hello, lovely Charlie.
Hey.
And we have with us a special guest for today, which is Mr. Nightow down there. Say hello, Mr. Nightow.
Hello, Mr. Nightow.
There we go. So do you want to tell the lovely people who you are for those who don't know? But of course everyone does. But for those who don't, tell them who you are.
Obviously everyone knows who I am.
Obviously they do.
Obviously. But if you don't know, then I'm Nightow. I stream here on the Twitch. If you watch on YouTube, it'll be on Twitch.
Yes.
Variety streamer. I've been streaming around about a year. I'm friends with these guys in real life. And honestly, I just like to play many different games and entertain you guys on Twitch and have fun.
Yes.
You also have a YouTube channel, don't you? Do you still do that?
I do here and there as much, but it's very hard to actually have, for me at the moment, have enough time to run YouTube and Twitch at the same time. So I put some highlights on there sometimes, but I'm mostly on Twitch at the moment.
Cool. Well, that's good. It's good to have you here. So thank you very much for agreeing to drop on.
I'm very happy to be here.
Oh, that's nice of you. Well, it's the first time we've had a guest on. We're planning to have a guest every single month. But with this only being the second episode, it's the first time we've had a guest. So thank you for breaking us in.
And, I'm honoured to be your first.
Yay.
I was going to say, haven't you broken Chico in before now?
Well, that's neither here nor there.
That's for off-stream talks.
That is for stream talks. So where are we starting today? Anybody got any specifics they want to talk about? Or are we just going to go in order?
What is everybody playing at the moment?
Yes. We'll start with you.
Who are we starting with? Oh, we'll start with me.
Start with you.
Right, the main things I've been playing at the moment have been... I've actually started playing The Witcher 3 for the first time.
Oh, nice.
And I'm very excited and really enjoying it. I've heard good things about it. It's amazing. I'm not that far into it yet, though. I'm probably about 15 hours in, so I've got a long way to go.
Yeah.
Still. But that game is beautiful.
It really is.
Everything about it, like graphically, it's amazing, but also like story-wise and gameplay, like everything about that game is really high-end, and I'm loving everything about it.
Yeah. I'm glad you're enjoying it. Yeah, it's sincerely is one of my favorite games I've ever played. I think because I played that, and then I played what was it, Breath of the Wild, the latest Zelda. Yeah. Them two, I think, are probably very, very high in my favorite games ranking. Just because
I can understand why.
Yeah, I mean, The Witcher, you get so absorbed into it. I hardly ever finish games because I get distracted. But The Witcher, I played all the way through, and then I started it a New Game Plus kind of recently. Which
is really weird because it's like a huge game as well. So you'd think that you might get bored like half, but it's 250, 200 hours worth of gameplay apparently. Totally is, and it's worth every second of it. I
was more of a Skyrim person because I don't like the combat in The Witcher. I like The Witcher story, I just don't like the handling.
Yeah, see, I ended up being the other way around.
Can't you put it like on the easiest mode though, so the combat's not as the same?
Yeah, I think it stops using the spells
so much.
Just
put it on noob mode for myself.
Basically, just put it on noob mode. But then you can just enjoy the story if you don't like the combat bit.
I did like Gwen. I have downloaded Gwen.
Gwen? I played Gwen once. And that was it. I wanted to play it more, but I just didn't. Yeah,
I can understand why people get like addicted to playing Gwent. I've played it a little bit like when I've been playing The Witcher, but I did have the standalone version on the PlayStation for a while. Put hours into that thing, and I still can't play it very well.
Yeah, I did enjoy the one time I played it. I got really into the actual main game, so it didn't really work out too well for me to go back to it at any point. But all right, so Charlie, what are you playing?
I am playing Punchline.
What else Punchline?
You've heard of Punchline because I'm playing it.
I've heard of it, but I don't know what it is.
I've definitely not heard of this. You need to inform me.
Punchline is a me game. It's one of them games where Chico makes sure that visitors know that it does not belong to him. Because Punchline, you play as a ghost who, whenever you see panties, you if you see panties twice in a row, then you faint and the world ends. So there's lots of panty shots.
Makes sense when you think about it.
What type of game is this?
It's like a puzzle game, as in you're a ghost, so you have to try and scare girls to get ghost power because you're not a ghost. You're trying to get your body back. But you need to up your ghost power to do this. And to do that, you scare girls, but sometimes when you scare them, they'll fall over and the panties are shown, or they'll jump and the panties are shown. And the camera will instantly zoom in on the panty shot, and you have to try and look away.
Is there a reason why they don't like panties, or is that in the story?
I think I get a nosebleed, and when the
Okay,
world
too excited. A little bit too excited.
A little bit too excited. It's got an anime as well, so people can watch the anime, or they can play it on PS Vita and PS4.
Nice. Portable.
But the dodgy games always belong to me.
Yeah, that's usually the case. We've got quite a few dodgy games in our house, and they were all Charlie's.
They're not mine,
think
honest.
so. Yeah, honestly, they're not. That's it. They're not mine. You'd think they would be. It's so surprising when you look at the collection. You'd think, yeah, you'd look at me and you'd be like, yeah, they're definitely his games. He is in desperate need of any of these games. But no, they're not. They're Charlie's. They're Filthmonger. So,
I'm proud.
Yeah, well, proud. I'm proud of my Charlie. She's awesome.
Chico, what are you playing?
What? Yes. What am I playing? What am I playing? I've been playing lots of Battlefield 1 to get ready for Battlefield 5 because they have like a build-up event where you can unlock skins and things for the game.
Oh, nice.
So yeah, I've been enjoying that. I've really been getting back into it, and because they give out the premium pass to everybody as an apology for BF5 being late, it meant that I could play levels I'd never played before, and I can play with weapons I'd never used before. So yeah, it's given me more reason to play it again, really.
When you say you get skins, does that mean you get skins for Battlefield 5 when that comes?
No, you get skins for Battlefield 1.
Okay.
But they're like
because they didn't know where you had like the build-up event.
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, the idea is that it's skins and stuff they've only made for this event, as far as I know, so they're very, very limited. And cool. Then I assume there'll be something in the last pack that'll be for the new game. I'm not entirely sure. But yeah, I've been playing that, and then I got yesterday or the day before, I got the new Assassin's Creed. And
I've heard good things about
loving it. Yeah, after The Witcher, you'll want to play it. It's very similar playstyle, which I was surprised at when I saw a reviewer say that it's kind of like The Witcher 3, and I thought, well, now I need to buy it because that's a very, very bold claim. But yeah, honestly, I can see where they're getting it from. It feels very similar when you're playing it. You feel sort of integrated in the world, and you feel like you're actually making some kind of difference. Nice. They have like a faction system as well, where there's a war going on between the Athenians and the Spartans, and you can help sway which way it goes by taking out commanders in certain areas and stuff, and then they lose a certain chunk of control in that area.
That seems similar to how like the Lord of the Rings recent games worked.
Yeah, the Shadow of War and the them games. Yeah, it's the same kind of thing really, and you do also have what are they called? Like bounty hunters after you, mercenaries.
Oh yeah.
So they have that as well, similar system. But also the ships are back. The ships are back, and the ship combat is back. And I'm so happy because the ship combat is awesome. It's extremely satisfying.
So this does not sound good to me.
Yeah, it really surprised me that you didn't like Black Flag when you played it.
That was the best part of Black Flag, though.
Yeah, I really enjoyed that stuff. So they got it back, and it's more satisfying than ever. There's nothing better than setting a ship on fire and then ramming through the middle of it, which also heals your ship in this game. If you actually split a ship in twain, you get healed. So
the extra bits of wood to yourself as you go.
That's
back.
exactly
just nailing them.
Yeah, the salt water acts like a glue. That's what it is. The fire and the salt water makes a glue, and then it's all glaze together.
Like welding.
Yeah, that's exactly. See, I'm glad you understand the situation.
I knew it.
That's exactly how the world works. So yeah, I've been playing that and Battlefield. So they've been enjoyable. Yes, we got the new Mario Party. Yes, which weirdly I'm actually enjoying for once because I never enjoy the Mario Party games ever because I always feel like they're fixed. And as I was just saying to Nightow before we started, I lose, but I was winning a lot of it.
Just
and then I lose. Yeah, kind of. But no, my problem is that it never seemed to be based on what you've done. It seemed to be based on random luck at the end.
And
that always bugged me with the bonus stars and stuff because you go from winning to losing because somebody was a bit slower than you, or things like that. And the other issue I had with it was that they have like the practice mode for the mini games. You could do it, but you'd have to jump in to like a different mode, and everyone would go in and have to practice. And you don't want to be that one guy who's not played it. When the 4 people who have. And you just feel stupid. Whereas in this new one, the practice is live in the demo, like the screen before you go in the game. So that's really, really good. So you can just play it straight away, get the hang of it, and then say when you're ready. Which I think that works really, really well. I enjoy the fact that works. It works comfortably, is what I'm trying to say.
Like, how does that work practice-wise, though? Because surely every game's different. So how do you practice?
Well, yeah, every minigame is different. So what happens is when you go in to do a minigame... when you go in to do a minigame, you have on the left side of the screen like a live version of the game which you're controlling, and it's just on the right it shows you the instructions of what you do, the buttons and what the aim is. So you can actually do it there, like just without accruing any actual points.
Oh, that's cool, yeah.
And that way you can just say, okay, that's what I need to do. I know what to do now. And then when you're ready, you push your buttons and you head on in.
Once everybody's pushed buttons, it goes in. So it's not like somebody can just push buttons and be like, but I needed to practice.
Yes, exactly.
That makes it fair, then at least.
Exactly, yeah. So I think it is a lot better because sometimes one of my main issues with that kind of game with mini games and stuff is that I just don't get the instructions sometimes. So you'll be doing it and you get one attempt quite often, or you'll get only 2 or 3 attempts at whatever the mini game is. So the amount of times I'd be playing stuff and I'm like, I've got no idea what I'm doing. Oh, look, I've lost. Whereas this way, I at least go in with a starting knowledge. You know, there's something going on.
You have a fair fight there. You have a fighting chance.
Exactly.
Did anyone notice how I was nice there and did not sneeze on Owl?
Yeah, that's very nice. That's very nice.
There's the other way. Wait till you've got like an extra guest though, and there's 4 of us, then you'll just sneeze on the person.
Yeah, exactly. That's it. You just dribble on down. That's kind of gross, but you can do it. It's fine. So yeah,
that's what we're here for.
Did you see that last month on PS Plus they gave out Destiny 2, which was a surprise to me?
I did. Because I don't know why. I assume that's like a build-up thing because the DLC was.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, the new big DLC pack. Yeah, exactly. Get people in the mood for it.
But have you played Destiny 2?
No, I've not played 2 yet. I keep meaning to. I enjoyed 1, even though I had no story whatsoever. But yeah, I've not played 2 yet. Apparently, it does have some kind of actual story though.
It does have a little bit of story. I've literally just started playing it myself, and I'm enjoying. There's a bit of a story, and there's lots of. It's a very grindy game one out though.
Yeah, well, it's an MMO, isn't it, basically?
Yeah, it basically is. But you can play like the single player on your own and get to a certain level and certain power level or whatever.
Yeah.
But then you have to grind online basically, or just on your own, and literally it takes ages to get anywhere, which is good because it gives you the opportunity to replay it a lot, and you have a reason to do it, not just keep going forever.
Oh, that's pretty cool. Yeah, because it gets difficult sometimes in them kind of games where it's really grindy and you don't really feel the benefits because you spend like, say if you need to spend like 20 sessions grinding stuff to get something, by the time the 20th session comes up, you kind of don't care anymore because you've spent 18 sessions in the middle just hacking away at stuff, getting your bloody points or whatever it is you need to, to do stuff with. So it's nice. It's nice. It's not as grindy.
The leveling system in that game confuses me though, because you've got like your experience point level, so you can level up to like level 20, level 30, level 40. It goes up to 50 the latest DLC, I think.
Yeah.
But then you've also got a separate power level, which is like how strong your weapons and armor are.
Oh, right.
So you have to level them up separately, almost, so that you kind of get the XP from just playing generally to get to your max level. But then you have to grind to get your equipment better. That's what the grind is, mostly.
Oh, okay.
And then once you get to certain power level, I guess, with your equipment, that's when you can do the harder missions like the raids and stuff.
Right, I see. Yeah,
that's why you need to grind.
Right. Well, it used to confuse me with like the light system and stuff like that. I never really fully understood that.
Yeah. I think they changed some of it though from the one. So like your weapons are different now.
Right.
I think so. You've got like a kinetic weapon and an energy weapon, then like a power weapon, where it's different in the first one.
Ah.
I think so. Kinetic one's just standard damage. The energy one is like has an element to it. And then the power one's just a really strong one, but you get limited resources of ammo on those ones.
No, that makes sense. Well, I know in the PS4 Plus games from last month, they gave God of War 3 Remaster as well, which I was really glad about because I was really enjoying the new God of War. I've not finished it yet, but I was really enjoying it. And it got me interested to play the other ones because I had a quick go of God of War back in the day, but I never really got into it, you know what I mean? Whereas this remaster, with it being right there on the PlayStation, I'm more likely to just have a bash and try and go through it. Apparently it is quite different to the new one, because the new one's like a standalone new style and everything.
That was going to be my next question, though. You've played the new one, so how does it differ if you have played the number 3?
Well, I didn't play number 3. I think when I've played an older one in the past, I think it was like Chains of Olympus or something on the Vita or the PSP or whatever it was. Cool. So it was pretty cool. It felt a bit like Devil May Cry more than the new God of War does. You know, that kind of combo-based, destroy everything that moves kind of gameplay.
Yeah.
Which is cool, you know, because he's the God of War, so he wants to cause some shit. And that's always fun to do in any way. But yeah, in the new God of War, I think I like the fact that it's more RPG story driven, and it's just so good to play. It's a comfortable game. You know, everything you do, you can feel happen, if that makes sense. Like every hack of wood, you're like, oh, that was a proper axe. You know, it's a magical game.
So before we move on again, sorry. Last month there was a very big release that came out.
Which one?
As gamers, all 3 of us, none of us have mentioned it, which I'm assuming means none of us really care about it. And considering how much of a big game it is for the norms, we're going to call them. What game came out last month?
Oh, was it FIFA?
FIFA came out.
There we go.
Oh yeah.
Nobody cares.
That's us.
Yeah, FIFA came out. That's like a week ago maybe.
I mean, surely we have to mention it. It'd be like not mentioning a Call of Duty.
Or like when we forgot to mention Spider-Man until like the end of last month.
And that's only because I reminded you in chat. I think.
Exactly. Saving the day as usual. No, but yeah, it's kind of awkward for FIFA at the moment because they have. I don't know if you know, they got Cristiano Ronaldo as the cover star. It was already awkward enough because they had him on the covers and the pre-order cases and stuff. You know, the way and the displays in the shops, they have the pre-order fake cases. Well, they had him on there in his uniform and stuff, and he moved teams.
I think it's called a kit.
Kit, thank you. In his kit.
She knows all the lingo.
She does. Look at her. She's down with the homies. So they had him on the front cover in his current kit, but he then got sold to a different team. So that kind of got awkward because they had to go and Photoshop all the front covers to be in his new kit. And I don't know what happens in the game related to that, whether they have to change things or not, I don't know. But also, in the past week or so, there's become some pretty serious allegations against him. So now FIFA are sort of like, let's see how this goes. Because obviously, if it comes out true, then they're going to have to replace all of the copies.
It's FIFA. It's not Cristiano Ronaldo's FIFA. This isn't a Tiger Woods situation.
Yeah,
no, it's
I see what I mean, but it's still the cover star.
Yeah, ultimately the game is the same, but I don't know if like they'll leave the versions as they are now, but then anything else they make or produce from now on, they might change the star.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Yeah, I think they'd have to swap out the cover star at least. Because I mean,
that means the FIFA 19 that's currently out would be worth something.
Maybe,
possibly,
maybe
may actually be worth picking up for a change.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, that'd be a good thing to do. But yeah, so I feel kind of bad for. I never thought I'd say this. I feel kind of bad for EA at the moment, just to see what happens. It's very, very rare you'll hear me say that.
You heard it here first.
Yeah, you heard it here first, folks. EA may be human.
If they had to pay to change all them covers, it would only be like, you know, the fact that they're probably charging to be able to unlock Cristiano Ronaldo in the first place. Just because he's on the cover doesn't mean you get him with the game.
That's a very good point. That is very, very good point. I wouldn't put it past them to try that. I saw an interesting game last month advertised. There's not much about it yet, but it's a PSVR game made by the people who made Dark Souls.
I've seen that. Is it the one where you're in like a village?
Yeah, it's called Derisine or something like that. I don't know how to say it. There's two fancy accents in it.
I think I've seen a bit of it about it was E3. I think they like teased it a bit.
Right.
Because it was like a From Software production, and then everyone's like, "Oh, what's this?" Thinking it would be like Dark, but then it was like the weird VR game.
Yeah, it's a VR
kind of
game.
Interesting.
It really does. It's apparently you're some sort of fairy. I don't really fully understand what it's about, but it seems interesting. And apparently, the definition of that word is uprooted from the natural environment. So there you go.
Oh.
So
the PSVR's got some good stuff going on at the moment. There are 2 games that I want for it.
Yes.
I mean, there's more games that I want for it, let's be honest.
Yeah, of course.
There's 2 currently.
There's 2 games that have been released within the last week, and I'm like, ooh.
Yeah, it's good. So, which ones are they?
Astrobots, which, for anyone that's played on PSVR, it's the little robots that are in the playroom area. They've released a game for them, and everyone will remember that they were such a fun little mini game on PSVR.
They were great.
So they've released a game for them. Woohoo! And they've released Blind, which at first I thought we saw a game which was all in black, and whenever you made a noise, it sent like an echo location around the room, and it was like horror game in some sewers, and there's something come and get you. And but it was very basic. It looked good, don't get me wrong, but it looked basic.
Yeah.
And Blind looks like a little bit more fleshed out of that. Now, whether it is or isn't, couldn't tell you, haven't played it, but I'm going to go find some people who are playing it, and I'm going to watch the shit out of it, because no way am you putting me in a PSVR headset to play it myself.
Yeah, that's... Why would you do that to yourself?
Exactly. I ain't crazy.
Exactly. Did you guys see the Pokemon Let's Go Switch that they're bringing out?
Did I see it? I pre-ordered it.
Did I see it?
I own 7.
I pre-ordered it.
Pre-ordered all the copies. I own them all.
It looks really cool what they're doing with it. They're only doing one version, but it's got both Pikachu and Eevee on the holding case thing on the front of it, which looks really nice. And they have 2 different color controls, if I remember right.
Yeah, one's yellow,
Yeah,
and one's like a yellowy brown.
There you go, Eevee Pikachu.
Beige.
Yes, gold. Some would say yellowy brown, aka gold.
No, it's not. It's not gold.
Is it
it's
not like a shiny?
beigey.
Oh, is
Yeah,
it like
it's
a matte?
It's matte.
Basically, you know
Mustard.
the colour that goes around
Dirt.
Eevee's neck?
Yeah, I thought it was white.
No, it's like our cream.
Oh, okay.
I do have an Eevee here, but it would create a Pokemon avalanche to get him.
Okay,
down.
let's not do that.
Yeah, let's not. That'd be terrible.
So it would look good on screen. It'd be
Don't
very Pokemon.
Right, if you buy the game, you don't get the Pokeball with it, though, do you?
Oh, I do.
You do.
You do.
You do.
You
If
pre-ordered
you get the
pre-ordered
bundle.
2 of them.
Yes, if you get
One for each hand.
if you get the Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu or Let's Go Eevee bundle, you get yourself the Switch with the special. Look at that. The Switch with the special holder. You get the 2 controllers with the grips, and you get the Pokeball and the game pre-installed on it. So that's pretty cool. Oh, she's Pokeballing. Dangerous Pokeballing.
So what is is the Pokeball like a secondary controller?
It's the primary controller. It's the controller you'd use to play the game. You can do the whole thing with the ball apparently. So the analog stick clicks in to act as a button. Cool. Yeah, and when you need to throw the ball, you literally do the throwing motion. You don't lob the ball, but you do the motion.
Yeah.
So that's
I did
pretty
just
cool.
try and catch an owl, but it didn't work.
Ah, yeah, he's resistant.
Ooh,
You need to chuck some berries his way. He's a sucker for berries. Chuck Berry.
Chuck Berry.
That's a name, isn't it?
Oh, talking of Pokemon, we've been
Musician.
playing Pokemon on our mobiles, haven't we? We've had a resurgence, and we caught Mewtwo, and I'm so
Oh,
I've had a lot
Pokemon
of
Go,
people.
yes.
I've had a lot of people around me like get back into it again. But there's been a recent update, so you can play with your add them now, can't you? And
Yes.
trade.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's actually a game now, rather than just being, find the Pokemons.
Yeah, basically,
there's
they used to be
more
just
to it.
walking. It's like a fancy pedometer.
Yeah,
It used to
exactly. It's pedometer plus friends, whereas now it's actual friends. It's really cool. I saw news of a release coming out, which I was really surprised by. I've never seen before, but it looks fantastic. It was something that came up in the Tokyo Game Show.
I thought you were going to be talking about Harry Potter then.
Not yet.
That's exciting, though.
But yeah, well, let's start with Harry Potter then, because we're going to talk about that at some point. So might as well talk about it now. Yeah. So, folks, there has been a leaked reveal. Oh, there she is, the floating head. There's been a leaked reveal of a Harry Potter RPG coming out.
It'd be focused by now.
Very exciting. It looks quite high end as well. From what we've seen of it.
It does look really, really, really good. There's apparently it is actually a real thing. I don't know if it's been confirmed or not, but it's.
I assume it is because like instantly Warner Bros. Taking down the videos from like YouTube and stuff.
Exactly, they took it down, and apparently, the sources are saying that it is real, but it's not being developed by Rocksteady, which some people thought it was being. And that's coming from a BBC reporter who has somebody on the inside. So it's pretty good sources. But yeah, it looks fantastic. It looks really, really good. It definitely has a lot of God of War vibes to it from what I saw in the footage, which can only be good because that's so good.
What are we going to do? Like, is it going to be guilds? And is there only going to be 4 of them because we're houses? Or are you just going to, like, hang out with your mate?
No, see, allegedly it's called Harry Potter Wizards Unite. So I think it'll be like a persistent universe almost to go against one evil. So
that'd be cool.
There's a chance.
Everyone be Owl.
Maybe. The evil Captain Owl with the beard of evilness. No, that's the one. No, it looks like it's really, really detailed from what I saw. Even the character creation feels like something Hogwartsian. Is that a term? Is that a term? Hogwartsian.
Yes, it is now.
It is now. Hogwartsian. But yeah, so allegedly it's called Wizards Unite, but we don't know if that's true or not. But
And it could just be a working title anyway.
yeah, exactly. I would say though that this official announcements won't be happening until, if they happen this year, I think it'll be the end of November after the Fantastic Beasts comes out and everyone's on the Harry Potter hype, or it would be next year. Yeah, exactly. Or it would be next year during E3, because that would be a stunner if they had a proper Harry Potter intro.
Just checking online though, apparently it could be Avalanche.
Avalanche Studios
working on it.
Ooh.
Yeah, because Warner Brothers acquired them like a year ago or something.
Ah, right.
So it could be them. It could be potentially them. That's from rumors on the internet. So I don't know how true any of this is.
We're going to put them out for respect.
From the interweebs is Avalanche Studios. I kind of, part of me kind of hopes it isn't Avalanche. I'm not a massive fan.
Avalanche, I'm thinking.
They did the Just Cause series, and they did the latest Mad Max.
Yeah.
They look nice. But yeah, we want something a bit more substantial. But
ooh, shots fired.
Shots fired, baby. Fired. Feel the fiery shottage.
I'd like to see you make a better game.
So would I.
So would I, actually.
But let's not go there. So yeah, I think I'm excited about that. I really do want it to be awesome. I feel like it's gonna have online stuff. It makes sense to if it's gonna be.
So I feel like it would be like the way that Fallout 76 is going to be, but with Harry Potter world.
Yeah, exactly. So, but more. I don't know.
Fallout
More intuitive.
You can just go and destroy people's shit, can't you?
Maybe.
Yeah,
but I like the idea that it's everyone playing all at once.
Yeah, it's like it's almost like a game of Risk.
Yes.
So
don't try and sell it me by saying it's a game of Risk.
I'm not trying to sell you it. I'm saying that's what it's like. It's what it felt like to me. Yeah, Charlie loves Risk.
It's her favourite.
Yeah, it's her favourite.
It really is one of my favourites.
She loves Risk.
Love Risk.
But yeah, another thing that we saw that I was saying about, it was revealed at Tokyo Game Show by a studio called Cygames, as in CY Games. I'd never heard of them before, but apparently they're more of a mobile studio. They make like Grand Blue Fantasy and stuff like that. They have revealed a game that's going to be on PS4 called, at the moment it's just called Project Awakening. So I don't know what the actual game title is going to be, but if you look at some images of this, it looks freaking stunning. It's one of the nicest looking games I've ever seen.
Looks almost like Monster Hunter World a bit, like style-wise.
Yeah, exactly, style-wise, Monster Hunter World, but thrown in with the quality of graphics of again,
like The Witcher or something.
Yeah, The Witcher, God of War, that kind of thing. It looks ridiculous, and they had a trailer for it. It's very exciting. But I'm not sure when we're going to hear anything more about this. But it is going to be released in Japan and the US, so that'd be nice.
Oh my god, I've just googled Cygames, and some of their games are freaking adorable.
Uh-oh.
Oh my god, they are like just me all over.
Why? What?
You're going to be going out and buying all their games now.
Pretty much, and I'm just gonna be on Steam now, clicking buy. I mean, there's something called Princess Connect, and all the characters look like the Atelier characters, but with big boobs.
Okay.
Something called Dragon League Lost, and it's got a big dragon on it. And it looks like an idol game. I mean, hello. It's Idolmaster. I own Idolmaster.
Oh, okay, yeah, we do own. We own one of them games. She was playing
Looks awesome.
She was playing it this morning.
Literally played it today.
Yeah.
Did not know they made it.
I guess we don't know because it's always brought over here by like Atlas or NIS or
but
something like that.
I bought it from Japan, so.
Oh right, okay. Well, yeah, you should have known. Should have known, boo. But yeah, so also we had a Nintendo Direct last month.
Yay!
In which they had some pretty big reveals. There's going to be, well, there is now NES Switch controllers. Have you seen these? The retro style NES controller for the Switch.
You have to be a Nintendo online person to buy them.
You do, because
and we are going to be Nintendo Online people, but I'm waiting until it's actually worth it for us because we're not really multiplayer people, are we?
Not overly. But also it's like the stuff that you get with it. I get that it's good that they're giving you free games every month, but the issue is the free games.
Have them all a million times over.
Well, yeah, they're the old emulated games, which we've had how many versions of over the years. It'd be nice if just once they give us maybe like some sort of indie game even every month. Just something.
Yeah, I want it like.
That'd be awesome. Yeah.
Plus. It just sends you random stuff.
Yeah, it gives you a chance to to discover something new, discover something you might like.
It was better than the original idea, which I think the original idea was like you got a game for the month, but then it was gone. So it was slightly better games, but
you only had it for 1 month,
and then after the month, you pay to keep it, or it was.
So it's almost like a rental then.
Yeah, that's what they were originally going to do, or at least that was what was rumored. And instead, they brought out the NES library, which, yay! It's at the moment I think about 20 games longer, and they're putting about 2 or 3 on a month. But NES games, if you're a Nintendo fan, you've played the NES games.
You might even still own them, so...
We do!
Yeah.
We have a mini NES! I wanted to own them again.
I love the mini NES, I'm really enjoying that. But yeah, so these controllers, as Charlie said, you can only get them if you are a Nintendo Online member, because the point is that you use them to play the emulated games, which you can only get if you're a member. So it kind of makes sense that they only sell them to the right people. But at the same time, it's a weird choice, I think. Like, it makes sense, but why not? Why make it only work with the retro games? Why not allow it to work with everything?
Yeah, I wonder if it just doesn't have enough buttons to be able to do everything.
Well, yeah, probably, but I mean, the Switch doesn't really utilize all its buttons anyway. I find quite often it duplicates what each button does. But these also don't clip onto the console, as far as I know. You can't use both. You have to use just one.
Are they wireless ones, or are they plug-in?
They are wireless. They might clip in, but you can only use one. I think they only clip in to charge, so you can't actually use it attached to the system.
That's what I've noticed about Mario Party at the moment. If you're playing Mario Party in handheld, for some reason I still have to have a disconnected controller.
What?
So that's weird. It's kind of tabletop, not handheld.
That doesn't make any sense at all.
Oh. What?
It doesn't when I was lying on the couch. Yeah. So I was trying to prop my Switch up against a pillow.
Oh, dude, that sucks. Oh well, at least you get to play the game now, I guess. But yeah, another thing that they said about in the Nintendo Direct is that they're going to be making a whole bunch of re-releases onto the Switch, which is pretty cool. Including
a group of ones.
Yeah, including the Final Fantasy 7, 9, and 10.
That's exactly what I was going to mention. I was like, that's the one I'm really hyped. 7, 9, 10, and 10 2, I think.
And 10 2.
Are they just putting it on, or are they like remastering them? Because I would like 9 with nice graphics, please.
It's not a remaster, really. I don't think so.
I think they remastered it so the characters look better, but they didn't change the back. Weird.
Oh, right. It's one of those.
Slightly updated.
Like slight improvement. Yeah, well, it's like... It annoys me that they've missed out 8 again. 8 always seems to miss out on stuff. 8's my favourite. But at the same time... Why. Well, yeah, that's it. I'm thinking maybe they're working on a remake of 8 like they have with 7. But
possibly,
at the same time, 7 may never see the light of day. It's been so many times of it saying it's coming this year, and then it never does.
It's been rumored since the PlayStation 4 came out.
Yeah, exactly.
Really? They had a tech demo, wasn't it?
Yeah, the tech demo. I think it was at E3. The tech demo on the PS4 was the what's the place called in Final Fantasy VII, where they have all the power center. I always forget the name of it.
Yeah, me too. I've completely forgot as well.
But yeah, it was there anyway. The slums and stuff. They showed footage of that as like a tech demo. It looked really, really cool. And everyone's like, "Oh my god, Final Fantasy VII's coming," and it just never has. But they also announced Luigi's Mansion 3. I know that Charlie's a massive Luigi Mansion fan.
Not number 2. Number 2 was alright.
Not number 2.
So much better.
What was wrong with number 2 out of interest? I haven't played either of them properly.
Have you played them all?
I've played the first one. I haven't played the number 2, so I don't know.
Well, as number 1, as you know, you kind of had free wander of the house. Granted, the house didn't open up until you'd done different areas, so you kind of gradually made your way around the mansion.
Yes.
2 was more level based, so yes, you were wandering around the mansion, but it was like you selected it as a level, and then it was just certain areas open up.
So it wasn't like a free roaming version. It was like so it limits you a bit.
Yeah, it was linear. So yeah, you had to go back to that level if you wanted to go back to that area, whatever. And like I said, I know that kind of gives it replayability because you can restart that level, whereas you couldn't do that with number 1. Yeah. But I liked the fact that you were opening up the mansion as you went through number 1.
It feels almost like a smaller game if it's like that. Yeah. It's like weird, like encloses you in instead of feeling like more open.
Yeah. So I need that to happen in number 3 because number 1 was a masterpiece. Number 2 would have been. I finished it.
You finished it?
Finished number 1. Luigi's Mansion 1.
I've never finished that one. But you'll be happy to know, Charlie, I don't know if you know about this, but they are bringing Luigi's Mansion 1 to the 3DS.
They are.
They're still doing 3DS games. I was surprised by this. Actually, it's out in 5 days.
How are you surprised they're still doing 3DS games?
Because I feel like the Switch is meant to replace it, but it's really not.
Yeah.
It's weird, isn't it? Because they're both handhelds, technically.
Because the Switch is like a hybrid console, but it makes sense. I mean, the 3DS is still strong. It's a good market.
And the 3DS has got things that the Switch doesn't. The whole dual screen thing.
Yeah, I think some games work better on 3DS. But that's just weirdly you get used to the dual screen dynamic. it doesn't feel like something that would ever make sense when it first came out. But then when you see it and you actually use it, you're like, oh my god, that's so cool.
Do you remember when the DS first came out and it was amazing?
It was amazing.
It was ugly, the very first one.
It was
ugly as arse, the first one.
Go sit in the corner.
I'm in the corner, woman. It's a corner desk.
Good. Stay in that corner.
But yeah, no, I enjoyed the look of it, but it was when you look back at it now, it almost feels like 90s tech, and it was out like 2006.
Yeah.
It was.
I never see your mum saying about her first child, well, he's an ugly fucker when I look at him now.
Yeah, but just because he's ugly still means that she loves him.
I was going to say, she says it to me often. It doesn't mean anything bad. Just how she is.
I know. Just how it looks.
Yeah, it's not my fault.
Love it.
But now they're also bringing out Kirby's Epic Yarn to the 3DS. Or is it Woolly World for us? That was a cute looking game, surely.
I'm not a Kirby fan.
Yeah, I like Kirby, but
he's too basic.
He's a basic bitch. He's a basic pink bitch.
He basic. Yeah, basic.
Yeah, basic. Oh my god, Al, do you watch The Good Place?
I've seen the first season. I haven't seen the second one.
You need to continue. We're now on season 3.
Oh wow, I'm so far behind.
Yeah, basic.
Yeah, basic. Yeah. At least to get the reference, though.
Yes.
At least to get the reference.
Exactly. I was surprised to see Warframe come to the Switch.
Warframe's coming to the Switch.
Warframe is coming to the Switch.
I assume it's going to be like 30 FPS, just long.
I'd guess so, because I don't think the Switch can do 60.
Yeah, I don't think, because I know when Dark Souls came to it, that was at 30 FPS instead of the 60 that was on like other stuff.
Which it wouldn't be that much of an issue for some games, but I think for Dark Souls it probably was quite problematic because of the amount of movement you need to do.
I can imagine, yeah.
And it really is frame specific, some of them animations.
The Switch can go to 60 FPS when docked.
Oh, there you go.
So it needs the extra power to do it.
I'm being our what's the guy
fact
called?
checker.
Well, no, but yeah, I was thinking of what's the guy called from Retro Replay.
Drew. You're being Drew.
We'll talk about it. I'm checking it.
I know. I can see Drew's face. Okay, that's cool. Thank you for being Drew. Let me see what else happened for the Nintendo Direct. Yeah, like I said, we had the Final Fantasy talk thing, but that included World of Final Fantasy, and it includes Crystal Chronicles and Final Fantasy 15 Pocket Edition.
But
and 12.
Final Fantasy got a new feature called Avatar Change, and a max. That is, I'm reading about it here.
Avatar Change.
Yeah, it's like it came to the Switch with a new feature called Avatar Change.
Ooh, I didn't know about that.
And yeah, so I don't know what that is. And Chocobo's Mystery Dungeon.
Yeah, Chocobo. I have no idea what that is. But
that sounds good. Yeah, that sounds pretty cool. I wonder if it's like, wasn't there a Pokemon Mystery Dungeon as well?
Yeah, I wasn't big on that.
Isn't that where you just play as Pokemon? There's no humans in it.
I think so. Yeah, and I wonder if it's the same kind of series or if it's just the same kind of name.
Quite possibly.
I gotta think it's got to be some kind of related.
Maybe.
If it has the same name.
Yeah, you'd think it would be. Surely. But then again, maybe it's just a lack of creativity. You never know.
It is randomly generated dungeons and turn-based battles.
Nice.
Now, Pokemon Mystery Dungeon wasn't that. Pokemon Mystery Dungeon, you'd wander around, and as you got in line with a Pokemon, then it would just kind of turn-based attacking, but you wouldn't do anything. It just automatically hit each other.
Right.
That's weird.
Yeah.
I feel like I wasn't playing. Be weird.
Yeah, I think so.
I think it kind of makes me think of the new Pokemon mobile game and Switch game, Pokemon Quest.
Oh, is that the blocky one?
Kind of do auto attacks. Yeah, the blocky one.
Yeah, that's a weird game. I don't get that one. But speaking of Pokemon, did you guys see the new RPG being made by Game Freak, who made the Pokemon games? It's called Town for now.
Oh, is that the name of it?
For now, the working title is Town.
Oh, the list I have is it's no name so far.
Ah, right. Yeah, no, it's looking like it's going to be called Town, or at least that's what they're calling it now. But it looks quite adorable. It looks kind of an Animal Crossing-ass type thing.
I've seen this. Yeah, I remember seeing this trailer.
I'm just sat here judging silently.
Why are you judge, lady?
Judging.
Not even silently. I keep on verbally going, ugh.
Yeah, that's what you do. No, looking at it, it looks really, really cool. The battle systems look nice in it as well, and the visuals actually look more like oh, what does that look like? I can't remember now. There's a specific anime style that it's kind of similar to.
It looks like, I don't know, I'm trying to think now.
Like One Piece or something? I can't tell, but it's that kind of specific thing. But it looks really good anyway. I think it's going to be a good one. A nice thing to have. And Animal Crossing as well, come to the Switch.
Animal Crossing? I don't like Animal Crossing.
See, I've never played it. Have you?
I feel like Pixie will like Animal Crossing.
I'm not. Maybe she would. It's a bit weird, and it looks creepy to me instead of being cute. I don't know why.
I know what you mean.
I feel like Animal Crossing looks creepy instead. Well, like Stardew Valley is really cute, and then Animal Crossing's like weird.
Yeah, it's kind of.
I think Pixie might like that kind of thing. Yeah. But I feel like Animal Crossing, she might like it. She might.
Yeah, I think it's the kind of thing you could get into if you sort of give it a sec. You know, it's something that people who are into it seem to get really into it.
Oh yeah, they have a massive like cult fan base.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so there must be something to it if it's got that big a fan base. But I don't know what it is.
I like it and I hate it.
Maybe try again. It's probably been a while.
You like it though?
No, it's because I can actually. Is this going to sound like one of the bitches comments I'll make all night?
One off.
Go ahead.
That is.
Get your pens ready, folks.
I play games, therefore I don't need a game designed for a 5-year-old to try and entertain me because I know what I'm doing with games. I'm not good at games.
That is true. Yeah. Our channel is based on this.
Yes, but I can actually understand what I'm meant to be doing, even if I fail doing it.
I think the idea is that it's more of a relaxing, don't really have to think kind of game, not the Sims kind of thing. Just let the lives of the neighbours happen.
It's not as complicated as the Sims.
Well,
and you cannot kill people.
Don't wet yourself and go to sleep every 3 days. It's pretty easy.
You can't kill anyone. I'm out.
Yeah, exactly. She's all about the murder. That's it.
Know it.
And of course, there was loads of Smash talk as well. Which, Nightow, do you play Smash at all?
I've played some of the older ones.
And what do you think about them? You a fan?
I love them. I'm a fan.
Right. Okay. Cool. So, how do you feel about the stuff in the Nintendo Direct then? Because me and Charlie, we don't like or play Snatch. They called it Smash.
Snatch.
We don't play Snatch. We don't play Smash.
Smash.
So we don't really care about all the announcements and stuff because we don't get what they mean half the time. So yeah.
What was actually like? I missed the announcement for this. Like I know it came out because I've read about it, but didn't see the actual trailer or anything, so I don't really know specifically. This is terrible right now.
No, basically they just ended up announcing a metric fuck ton of characters that are coming to it.
And it's like half an hour long on the E3 presentation.
Yeah, the E3 presentation was all Smash pretty much. It was half hour of it.
Wow, that's big.
Yeah, but
it's such a fun game, and it's good to play with like friends and stuff. And it's something that it's you can easily just pick it up and play. It's not something you have to get into for like.
Yeah, well, see, I just don't understand it when we're playing it. It's because it's the kind of health system and stuff it uses. It's not really clear to somebody new to the game what is happening.
Yeah, that's a little weird. Because sometimes you can literally just get hit off the screen from like nowhere, can't you?
Yeah, I mean that's bad enough. But like when it says like 128%, you're like, what the hell's happening? Why has it gone over 100? And what is this? It's going up.
Never really figured this out. I'm not sure. I don't know if that's actually your health or like something else.
I don't know. I think it must control something else. I don't know. People seem to love it. Again, that's the kind of thing where people are obsessed.
The last one's actually majorly played. I can't remember the last one played. Was the one on the GameCube?
The GameCube was Melee, wasn't it?
Yes, I think that's the last one I probably played. It's been a while since I played them, but I did used to love them. Like that, and the N64 was amazing, and I got addicted to playing them a lot with friends.
Yeah.
We was told to play it on our YouTube channel, weren't we? So
yeah, we did. There is video footage of us playing it, and then there's a list at the end of games that are better, and it's a long list.
Check out the link below.
Yeah, sure, the link below. But yeah, so that was the Nintendo Direct. Really, there wasn't much more to it.
There was Civilization 6. That's a big one.
There was. There's actually some controversy about that because in the footage they showed, it looked heavily broken. So that's it's a really bad sign when you choose to show the best footage and that footage is broken. So there's definitely worry about how it's going to play on the console itself because it doesn't seem like it'd be difficult to get that running on a Switch, but at the same time they seem to be doing a good job of making it difficult.
I wonder why.
Yeah, I don't know. I think maybe. I mean, to be fair, it's pre-release. There could be stuff that they're still working on. I've worked with, there's times where you've got a demo and you've got a deadline to hit and you just can't do it.
That's all
fully.
You have.
Yeah, exactly. Like, okay, well, this deadline got pushed forwards by a month. This is a month behind, but here's what you've got. That kind of thing happens sometimes. You can't help it.
I can imagine.
I'm erring on the side of caution for trying to just pick them out at them. Sort of pick on them for it. But we'll just see how it goes. We'll see what it's like when it arrives. Because I've not played Civilization. Actually, I don't think I've ever played them games. I've played Age of Empires. And they're pretty similar. They're pretty similar, aren't they? So I think I'll give it a go when it arrives because I do like that kind of game. I just haven't played one in so long. I used to play Age of Empires 2 on the PC all the time, and I would put in the cheat code Cobra, and I'd get myself a car, and I'd drive around in a car just running people over. That was always
Little
awesome.
cheater.
Yeah, it was awesome. It was a little Cobra car with, I think it had machine guns in the bonnet.
Oh wow!
So it's like, okay, you take this armored elephant. They had no chance.
Bit. That's definitely a cheat then.
Yeah, a bit of a cheat, but it was good
I've
fun.
got sticks. I've got a machine
Yeah,
gun.
I will literally run you over in a vehicle you don't know exists. But yeah, it's been an awkward month this month for game studios and for game studio staff and stuff like that, because there's been a few big closings, unfortunately.
Oh my god, who else was surprised? Other
Yeah.
than everybody.
Telltale
Other than
Games.
everyone.
Yeah, other than everyone's surprised. Even the staff who worked there were surprised, which is really sad.
I know.
So yeah, Telltale Games have gone. Well, are going, should I say. Apparently they are going to finish the final chapter of The Walking Dead Season 4.
I was going to say, it's not the final chapter though, is it? It's chapter 2, but then they can get into the final chapter.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, they have to wrap it up because it's gone. But
It's
what
chapter 2.
what annoyed me... What annoyed me the most, maybe it's a personal thing because I am a game dev and I understand what these guys are going through, is that they got let go with next to no notice and no severance pay, no nothing. So nobody's rent's getting paid this month, nobody's mortgage is getting paid, nobody's family is getting food money in the next month. It's a really, really big issue, and there's a lot of people that it's affecting, you know. But what annoyed me a lot was that people on Twitter and stuff, there's people obviously being helpful, trying to, you know, share links for jobs that are going in the area, that kind of stuff. But then you have people who are bitching, saying, I've bought the season pass, I want my episode, when's it going to be done? It's not released yet. It's like, how about just give them a minute, you know, let them try and get their lives together in some kind of way, and then figure out what's going to happen this next episode. Because I wouldn't care if the next one didn't come out if we already paid for it, because the situation those guys are in is so much worse than the situation that we're in, waiting for the game.
Oh, definitely, yeah.
You know, so it felt really uncalled for people to call them out on that. Fair enough to call Telltale out on that, but yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
but
it's called Telltale, but still,
there's
it's
even
still
somebody,
a bad situation.
Exactly. I saw one specific tweet that really pissed me off. It was somebody saying that they demand that they bring back in their ex-staff, as they called them, to finish the game for free because it's their fault it's not getting finished. It's like, are you kidding me?
It's a proper kick in the teeth to the staff.
Yeah, the staff have been all sacked with no notice or pay, and it's their fault. Because the studio's gone under for bad management.
So come back without any pay and finish this game.
Yeah, finish the game, damn it. But yeah, that was ridiculous. Also, Capcom in Vancouver, you might not know, had a massive close. They've lost 158 jobs have gone. They're the people who make Dead Rising, by the way. That's that studio.
Okay, yeah, I know that.
Now, apparently the reason they're doing it, Capcom have said, is because they want to concentrate on major releases in Japan. So they sort of basically closed that studio as a, you know, a satellite studio, as it were. So that's really unfortunate for those 158 people. Apparently some of them are going to be what's the word now? Capcom felt bad. Yeah, they're going to help them relocate, basically. It wasn't on any bad blood.
Bad. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
We're going to fire you.
Sorry you're homeless, but, you know, Jeff's got a job going. No, apparently, they didn't want to sort of do it on super hard terms. It wasn't like, you know, you're all shit, you're getting sacked. It was just that, look, we have to shut this studio down. So they are doing it with notice. They're doing it with the right kind of pays, as far as I know. And they're also trying to get people in touch with people for jobs. So, like, sort of directly...
So what you mean is they're watching all the tweets of people saying...
Just like sending them.
Oh, for Telltale, yeah. Oh, no.
I'm kind of going to the staff. Just tell them you're from Telltale. Just tell them.
Just go in with loads of Walking Dead trivia that nobody else would know. But yeah, so that's a shame. But I mean, at the same time, it might mean you might have some improved games coming from Capcom in Japan. You know, because they've had the Japanese game market's been struggling for a couple of years. They're trying to get more Western devs over there to do things because the Japanese market got a bit stale.
Our friend.
They have stolen our yes.
Our friend is the Western dev.
Yes.
And they have stolen him.
They've stolen him.
Now he's leaving us.
He's left us.
Oh.
He's not left us quite yet.
Well,
or at least he's left us, he's just not left the country.
Yeah, I was going to say he's moved SF for a bit. But yeah, then he's going to Kyoto. Bloody lucky bugger.
Wow.
Lucky bugger. But yeah, also, and this one kind of hurt me a little bit, Nobuo Uematsu is finally taking time off. Now, that doesn't sound like much, but because he's the composer of the Final Fantasy music, for those of you guys who don't know. He is an absolute workhorse. The guy does not stop, and he hasn't stopped for like a decade. But apparently it's starting to actually catch up with him. He's getting some bad health issues and stuff at the moment. So he said, you know what? I need to have some time off. Now, he's threatened a few times in the past with retirement, and he's never actually done it. But this time he says he feels like he has to do it because his health is declining because of the amount of work he's been doing. So yeah, it's not it's not great that he's having to stop for a bit, but at the same time, I'd much rather him stop and have a rest than die, you know, because the Japanese have a habit of working to death. There's even a word for it. I can't remember what it is, but they have a specific word, and you know, you do it too often if there's a word in your dictionary for it. But yeah, so that's, you know, there's been bad stuff this month, but there's been lots of good stuff as well. Also, something a bit of a landmark happened. Sony have agreed to allow crossplay.
Oh, this is exciting, though.
Yes.
Exciting.
So for Fortnite, it's only for Fortnite at the moment, but apparently it wasn't easy getting things working in the background, is what Sony was saying, why it took so long and why they were so against it in the first place. Because, as you guys know, Sony have had a lot of security issues over the years with the network. And they're constantly fighting attacks and all this kind of stuff. And they were saying that their major issue is that they didn't want to open a back door, basically. And allowing crossplay will do that. It's inevitable. It has to, because you need to speak to a different type of network, and it's not even like it's just, you know, you're both on the same system and you're just opening up a port. It's a completely different structure in code. It's not even the same systems that they use. So, you know, it's like one security thing talking to a different type of security thing.
Can I put a conspiracy theory out there?
Go on.
Maybe Sony know that Microsoft were behind the hackings, and they didn't want to open up a gateway for Microsoft to get back in so easily.
Maybe.
But now,
allegedly.
Spy on them.
Oh god, this is like Russia and
conspiracy
Trump.
confirmed.
Conspiracy confirmed. You heard it here first, folks.
Yes. Conspiracy confirmed. That's a weird way of saying things. Did you guys see as well?
Fake news!
Fake news! Did you see? I wish this was fake news. Go 8-bit is no more.
Fake news.
That made me very sad.
Fake
news. We were so sad a few months ago when we found out Dave was going to go off Virgin Media. We're like, oh, that's the only channel we watch. And then now,
literally because of Go 8-bit, and now we've
Go
got
8-bit
Dave
and
back and Go 8-bit's
Taskmaster.
gone.
Yeah, Go 8-bit and Taskmaster, the two things that we watch on telly. And now Go 8-bit's gone. We're like, oh well, Taskmaster's
good stuff.
Yeah, Taskmaster better hold on. But they say it was like an amicable thing, but apparently the way Steve, one of the team captains, found out about it was a tweet from somebody else. So that's a bit unfortunate.
Considering the show was his show.
Yeah, exactly. He's a co-creator. He found out from UK TV tweeting saying, actually they tweeted a reply to somebody else. Somebody else said to them, you know, when season whatever, and they've said, you know, it's been a great run, but we're calling it at this. There isn't going to be any more seasons. And Steve replied saying, well, thanks. This is a great way to find out. As the co-creator, you'd think I would have been told by now. And apparently they then had a conversation and things were okay. But that's not how you want to find out you've not got a job anymore. Which is really, really unfortunate about that, because it's such a cool show. It's nice to see games back on TV, you know? Like, I mean, back in the day we had like Games Master and stuff like that, but and you know, Nightmare had kind of like a video game theme to it, but it wasn't really a video game. But you know what I mean, it was cool. So it was nice to have a change. I know, I never understood that.
Nightmare?
I loved Nightmare.
I liked Game
great.
Nightmare was so damn good.
Great. With Patrick, I forgot his surname. Moore.
Was it the astrologer?
Floating head, basically.
Patrick Moore.
Patrick
I want to say.
Too cool.
That's great. Because you used to watch it and they had like gameplay, like people actually playing games live. There'd be like stuff on it and then reviews and all sorts. It was great.
Yeah, it was awesome.
You know what? I know why Go 8-bit has gone.
Why is that?
Why?
It was the Go 8-bit behind the scenes or whatever it was. Do you remember the like it needs to have a cheat section, and they didn't do a cheat section, so
see, there you go.
I find that like games these days though don't really have many cheats, like not like they used to.
Yeah, it's not really what it used to be, is it?
Because obviously people program them in, but I wonder if that actually happens now.
Apparently,
some games still have them.
What happened was on the show, they're like, hey, you need a cheat section, and on the show they're even like, yeah, nobody uses cheats these days, and they're like, you need a cheat section.
I forgot about that. It was a different category, wasn't it? Did you see there's been some more Death Stranding footage from the Tokyo Game Show?
I did not.
I did not either.
It looks so good. And it introduced the one and only Troy Baker is in the game.
I think I read about this though. Oh yes.
And his character looks so badass. It looks
Has
really,
it explained
really cool.
any more story though? Because I don't know any story of this yet.
Nobody knows any story of this.
Nope. It just seems like a guy walking.
It seems to get more confused by the second. Well, at least there's a monster in this new trailer.
Okay, cool.
Cool. Troy Baker is like a character in like a golden skull mask with a cape. And
cool.
He can summon things he can summon these like the shadows the strands, whatever they're called, these black monsters that are like liquid. He can summon them.
Oh, yeah.
He forms them all together into one massive monster, which I assume starts attacking Norman Reedus' character, which, it's so cool. I am so crazy excited about that. Also, they said that there's a new Metal Gear Solid live thing happening in Tokyo. It's a real place that you go to. It's kind of like an escape room. And a friend are stealthing about the place with boxes and stuff, and there's people trying to find you, looking around with torches and things. It's meant to be really cool, and apparently the people who try and find you actually have the exclamation marks above their head. I don't know how it works, but I know I need to try that. Apparently it's in Shibuya. I need to check if it's...
I really hope it's on the back and then they pull like a trigger and it just goes up.
Really? That was so cool. And they also, because we're going through like Tokyo Games Show stuff now, they also showed 12 minutes of gameplay of Sekiro Shadows Die Twice. You know,
I'm so excited for that
12
game.
minutes. I've made sure to not watch it though. I really wanted to watch it, but I decided against it because I want it to all be fresh when I see it. Now I know I'm going to change my mind because I said the same thing about Cyberpunk. Thank you. I said the same thing about Cyberpunk, and then I've watched the whole 40 minutes gameplay of that.
I've not watched the 40 minutes. I'm just in the trailers.
You need to watch the gameplay.
I'm trying to avoid it.
It's not spoilery. It's not spoilery, but it gets you so excited for the game. And
the only thing I really know about the game is that like the driving's in third person, but the game's in first person. I found that strange.
Yeah, it is a bit weird, but I think I can see why they've done it, because I know The Witcher is third person, and you still feel you get involved in the story, but you don't feel like you are Geralt. If that makes sense, I think you feel like
you're watching him.
Yeah, exactly. You're controlling Geralt. Whereas in this, I can see how you feel like you are the character.
Yeah.
So that's pretty cool. And the game itself, by the way, the trailer, if you do watch the gameplay footage, parts of it are NSFW. I learned this whilst watching it in W.
Well, maybe you shouldn't be watching anything in W.
It was on my lunch break, woman. YouTube natters over there. No, it was on my lunch break. But yeah, there's a part where there's boobies. There's
a little bit raunchy.
Bubis digitalis, the Latin name. Digital boobies. Digital boobies knocking about. Very well modelled, I might say. But yeah, not what I was expecting on my full screen.
Thoroughly.
I paused it, I took screenshots, I evaluated it. Definitely boobies. But yeah, this Sekiro, I'm so excited to play this game. I don't want to watch the footage, as I say, but I want the game right now. Right now, please.
Say it. When's it out, though? Is it like March-ish?
I think it was March, it said. Let me see. Can I find this quick? March 22nd, 2019.
Nice.
That's going to be good. Are you getting PC or PlayStation? What do you reckon?
Ooh, probably PC, I'll be honest. Most of the stuff I buy these days is on.
Yeah, same here, but I'm thinking that might be the best idea. But at the same time, I know that Dark Souls has had a lot of issues on PC. So,
but if it's developed for PC instead of being like ported over,
good point. Actually, yeah, good point. Hopefully that's the case. Also, the Phoenix Wright trilogy is coming to PC, PS4, Switch, and Xbox. So that's pretty cool.
I would be excited about that, but I bought it in January for the DS.
Well, yeah, you did. That's true. But I'm curious how they're going to do the dual screen stuff.
That'd be interesting, yeah.
Because I mean, I know it's not exactly heavily important, the dual screen stuff on that game particularly, but it's nice. No, it's nice to have it.
Yeah. Unless they just split screen it on the Switch somehow.
Maybe. By the screenshots, it seems to just be full screen though, so maybe not. But still, it'll be cool to see it kind of revitalized, because I like that series of games. You know, it's nice to have something a bit different, and when that came out, it definitely felt different.
I really liked the Professor Layton Phoenix Wright crossover game.
I never played that. What was it like? What did Layton bring to it?
If you think of it as like chapters, you'd do a chapter as one, and then a chapter as the other, and you'd switched sidekicks. I can't remember what happened, like whether you'd been thrust into a world. I don't know.
Yeah.
But basically, the girl that hangs out with Phoenix Wright was with Layton, and the little lad that hangs out with Layton was with Phoenix Wright, if I remember correctly, anyway.
Oh.
And yeah, you just kind of correct on, and it, like I said, it basically swapped over every chapter what style of gameplay it was. So it was good for getting Layton fans into Phoenix Wright and Phoenix Wright fans into Layton.
Yeah. Oh, cool! I'm glad about that. It's that's one of the good things about crossovers. It's kind of like when you do collaborations on Twitch and YouTube. It brings people's attention to the other part of it, you know, that they might not have ever seen, because it's different content or it's different style of game. But yeah, that's really cool. I forgot about this, folks. Sony announced the PlayStation Classic.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah, they did. And I'm getting it. because I'm a sucker for anything PlayStation.
What does it come with, though? Because it has games already loaded in, doesn't it?
It has 20 games on
20?
it. 20 games, including Final Fantasy VII.
Yeah.
Which is a massive one. Also, Tekken 3 for me. Huge fan of Tekken 3.
That was one of my favourites.
That is my jam. I will kick your ass. That's just how it is. They also have Ridge Racer Type 4, which I loved. That was one of my favourite racing games. And it was so fun. But yeah, there's a whole bunch of stuff on it, including Jump and Flash, which is a rare game. Jumping Flash, as far as I know, is a game that one of my friends has got, and he bought for about £140.
Wow, then
as a PS1 game. It's 3D. It's fully 3D, but it feels like the kind of 3D that a SNES would do.
Okay.
So it's like, weirdly, it's kind of backwards. But yeah, it is definitely that game. I'm looking at it now. It's a super fun game. It's kind of like a 3D platformer in the sense of you go upwards as well as, like, you know, like on a platformer, you're normally jumping from like ledge to ledge and whatever. On this, you have like a whole ground plane. You okay over there?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, she's choking. She'll be alright.
She's dying.
Twitch death.
You okay?
YouTube top 10 Twitch deaths. No, it was nearly top 10 spit takes.
You didn't even rip me. You didn't even
rip. Whatever. We're there. Rip. There you go. I ripped you, not that you can hear it. But yeah, anyway, Jump and Flash. It has like a ground level where you have a bunch of things that you need to collect and enemies to avoid. But then if you jump into the sky, he's got like a really, really big jump on him, like a frog's legs kind of jump. And you land on little sort of circular platforms that are floating in the sky. And it's a cool game. It's very, very niche. Like, it's not the kind of game everyone would like by any stretch of the imagination. It looks like a bag of arse for the PlayStation. Generally, you'd look at it like, that's a SNES game, clearly. There could be a NES game. No, that's a PS1 game. But I think it may be one of the very first ones. So that explains the lack of anything fantastic on it. But yeah, that's going to be on the PlayStation Classic, so you get to play it. And apparently, it's going to retail for $99.99. Well,
that's great. That's a good price.
$89.99, sorry.
Even better.
Yeah.
See, that's expensive.
It is a bit expensive, but at the same time, I think it's worth it. For
I don't think it's that bad.
Yeah, if you go out and buy a copy of Final Fantasy VII now for your PS1, it's not going to be super cheap. So that in itself...
I bet it is.
Oh, get Googling, woman. But yeah, it's nice that it comes with that. I don't think they haven't announced all 20 games yet that's going to be on it, but they have announced a few, and the few that they have announced are exciting.
I'm hoping like Metal Gear would be on it.
Oh god, so do I. That would be so nice.
Like Castlevania or something. Would
be
great.
That'd be awesome. Because...
Okay, Final Fantasy VII. Buy it now. £15, free postage.
What condition's it in? Because if it's
the case looks pretty nice. So
well, the case, you don't play the case, do you?
Oh, there we go. All discs are professionally cleaned prior to leaving.
Yeah, that's a broken game.
No,
that's a broken game.
I don't believe that for a second.
Even the book looks in immaculate condition.
Well, then click buy now.
How much was this game, though? Did you say?
£15.
That's not bad, but you still wouldn't get 20 of those for less than 100. So.
Yeah, they are. See.
Yeah.
But yeah, what I'm saying is there's some gems. As I said, that Jump and Flash game, that'll set you back a bit. So it's worth it. Devil May Cry 5 had a trailer, and that looks fantastic as well. Now they had a reveal at Dante was in it.
Nope. Buy it now. £12.95 plus £1 postage and packaging.
Really?
Wow.
Jesus.
Oh, that's even cheaper. £10.99 at £1.40 PMP.
Well, that's gone cheap. But yeah. Anyway, as I was saying, Devil May Cry 5 was announced. They had a teaser trailer for it at E3. And they had
I remember the trailer,
Dante.
the teaser.
Yeah, Dante was right at the end on his bike. Well, on the Tokyo Game Show trailer, they show you more. They show you fighting and stuff like that, and it looks incredible. Like visually, it's the nicest thing, not ever, but it's really, really, really nice. Yeah, so March 8th that comes out. Wait, what the hell is this? Hang on a second.
What is this?
What the fuck is that?
No way.
What have you found? What have you found?
A Mega Man Devil May Cry 5 crossover.
What?
What? You get the Mega Buster as a weapon. Are you kidding? Oh my god, this is awesome. Okay, so there's a side-scrolling mode which lets you play like Mega Man, and you get to use the Mega Man, fist cannon that he has.
Wow.
Against the enemies in the game, in the normal game as well. Oh, that looks insane. Okay, anyway, sorry, I got distracted.
Oh, okay, yeah, somebody's actually made a YouTube video on this because they must be super excited for it.
Right.
Because they've called it Crapcon back to Capcom. So
wow.
quite happy.
Well, if you could get a whole studio back on board from that one thing, that's got to be pretty good. That's pretty damn impressive. But yes, it looks like it's been quite a strong game show this year. Apparently Sega have delayed its Mega Drive Mini that they were going to release. Delayed it till next year for an overhaul. I'm assuming they've probably looked at what PlayStation's doing and what Nintendo have done and gone, oh, ours isn't good enough. So yeah, I don't think it's going to do too great, to be honest.
What Mini do you want to see?
N64 Mini.
Yeah, I was going to say the exact same thing.
Yeah, that's got to happen.
N64 hasn't been officially announced, but they've got the patent come through for it like last month, and apparently that's tying in with everyone that they've done. They get it around about now, and then they release it for Christmas.
That's pretty cool.
That's what happened with NES and SNES. So everyone's saying that's what's going to happen with the N64 because it's following suit. But they've not confirmed it yet. But everyone's like, yeah, the fact that they've just got the patent for it, that confirms it.
Awesome.
Pretty much. But yeah, that needs to happen though. Like, there's so many good games on the N64. They're just back.
Yeah, I mean, there's games that they've re-released on the 3DS since, like Lilac Wars and Super Mario 64, stuff like that. But I think that if them two were on a little plug-and-play console, that'd be just dreamy.
Banjo-Kazooie.
Banjo-Kazooie, of course. How did I forget that? And Banjo-Tooie. Poor little Tooie always gets ignored. Yeah, I like.
Unlike that shit, Nuts and Bolts. Nuts and Bolts was the biggest disappointment.
Oh, we don't talk about that. Yeah, that was what was that?
We were so excited for that, and we got it like on release, and then played it for like an hour.
It was just a terrifyingly bad game. It's probably, to be fair, it's probably going to be good as a standalone game, but because you're expecting Banjo-Kazooie, it just wasn't good. The trailer for it though was downright insulting to the original game. It was like, who wants to collect things? Because it showed a fully created, beautiful version of the first level of Banjo-Kazooie. Everything was there. They could have just released that and we'd be happier. But instead, they took the piss by saying, nobody wants to collect things. No one wants to collect items. You want to build things.
I was like, give me my goddamn jiggies.
Yeah, give me my jiggies, bitch. Screw your stupid cars. But yeah, also, any of you guys like the Yakuza games? Or is that just me?
Just you.
Just you, bro.
Just me, okay.
I've never really played them. It's something that I probably should.
They're such a good series. I'm glad to see recently more and more people seem to be getting into them. Because back in the day, I'd have to wait a long time for them to come out over here if they got a Western release at all. There was some of them that didn't. So I've got them downstairs in Japanese form, which is bloody hard to play, by the way, because they're RPGs.
Did you buy the Samurai one?
I did. There's one that's set in feudal Japan, and it's so good. You walk around as a samurai instead of a Yakuza. So that's awesome. But the people who make them games are doing a new series called Project Judge. And apparently, instead of being like part of the Yakuza, you are a detective.
Oh, cool.
And it's apparently a detective story crossed with a courtroom drama. So I'm really curious what that's going to be. Do you reckon it'll be like a hyper-realistic Phoenix Wright? I'm thinking it'll be that kind of style thing. I'm assuming it'll have the same... Yeah, I'm assuming it'll have the same kind of ass-kicking power that the Yakuza games have, where you just have massive street brawls and go and collect every item in the game. Because those games are really, really deep. Like, you walk into a shop in that game, and you can buy so many things. And the things that you can buy are real items in Japan. They're actual branded items. So it's really cool.
Been in one of the shops. It was quite funny.
Charlie's froze. Oh, she's back. Yeah, we've been in one. That was a funny pose to freeze in. You're like,
oh my god, I did.
Yeah. But yeah, we've been in some of the real locations, and it's really, really cool to go to. So I'm hoping they use real locations again, because it really grounds the game, I think. When you can go somewhere that's in a game. Like, you can go on the Yakuza tour in Japan, and they take you to locations, real sort of poignant places in the game. And that's really nice. I've been tempted to go on that, but at the same time, I don't want to. I want to go explore.
At the same time.
Well, yeah, but that involves people.
Yeah, that's true. Explore on your own.
Yeah,
do your own tour.
Exactly. Apparently, there's going to be something that's going to make a lot of the weebs super happy as well. Kingdom Hearts is getting VR.
It's getting VR?
Yeah. The Kingdom Hearts VR experience. Oh, apparently it'll be a free 10-minute interactive video. Oh, okay. That's different. That's different to being VR, really. But still, cool.
Oh, right, there's a horror game coming out in...
What?
Like 3 days?
Which one?
called Home Sweet Home, and it's a Thai horror game. And you know, Asian horror stuff is scary as hell.
You're not wrong.
Yeah, they really are.
It's a Thai horror game on the PSVR.
Jesus, that'd be bad. Well, speaking of horror games...
It'll be good, but it'll be bad.
It will. Good but bad. Speaking of horror games, we are going to speak about horror games for a minute, if that's okay with you guys.
Speaking about horror games, we're going to speak about horror games.
Hey,
Wow. I hope we speak about horror games.
That is how words work, you see. So,
what are we speaking about again?
Your favourite horror game. Or even
Our
if you,
favourite horror games.
If you don't like... Yes, our favourite horror games. If you don't like horror games, then one that you think is most important, maybe.
Let's think.
I had one before, and I've actually forgot it.
First.
You can go
Is this
first.
talking about horror games, or is this you spoiling whose game is best?
What? Yeah, that.
It needs an intro.
Then welcome to the segment of whose game is best.
Whose game is best?
My game versus your game.
There you
Would
go.
you like pick a genre of game, or has Chico picked one for you?
Well, I guess he's picked one for me now. We're
Sorry.
doing horror, apparently.
Apparently we're doing horror. Who'd have thunk?
Who'd have thunk? Spoilers. Spoiler alert.
Spoiler alert.
We're doing horror.
Horror time, baby.
Okay, so for us to all consider and decide whose game is best, Al, would you like to tell us what your horror game is and why it's best?
Okay, I'm gonna think. Right, I had a couple of ideas,
Okay.
but I'm gonna have to narrow it down to one, aren't I? So I'm gonna have to pick one. So I'm gonna say it might be controversially because it's kind of I guess it is a game, but I'm gonna go for
I guess it's a game.
Until Dawn. So it's more
Ooh.
like a story horror game instead.
Good.
So you're not actually like you are playing it, but you're making the choices instead for these characters.
Yeah. No, that's
So
a good
probably
show.
my favorite one. I like that one just because of the fact that like you really feel for these characters and you want to save them. Well, it depends how you're playing the game, but I wanted to save them as best as I can.
Yeah.
But
Be
it's
honest,
really
did you want to kill anyone?
I probably wanted to kill some characters.
Emily
but
needs
I
to
want
die.
save them.
Emily needs to die in all playthroughs.
In all playthroughs.
I
even
tried
if
so
you wanna
hard to
save
kill
everyone.
her. I literally put down the controller for her segments so that I could
Not
press
if you
none of
die,
the buttons. And she still didn't die in that segment. It really annoyed me. Like, damn it, I missed like 3 button presses there. You should have died. Yeah,
It was literally just her picking up like a cup of tea. Damn it, bitch! die!
yeah, press X to drink. None of that stuff.
She was hoping you just spilled the boiling water on herself.
That was it. Oh no, my hand. No, she was getting chased by.
no.
I think she was getting chased by a guy with an axe or something.
She still didn't die.
Yeah, she just
Ruined.
everything
Ruined.
fell on her, slowed her down. It's like every possible opportunity. Damn it, woman, she survived. But that's a good choice. Until Dawn, I forgot about that. That was a really good game.
Yeah. I was trying to think of a good like horror games, but it's very suspenseful. It's not like a really
God,
jump
yeah.
scary. 1 or 2 moments in it which actually are pretty jump. Like there's the dog thing that jumps out at you halfway through, and that makes me poop myself a lot.
Yeah, it was definitely
It's got
frightening.
Insane Asylum, which is my thing. I hate Insane Asylum.
Yeah,
Not
Charlie's-
that anyone's always like, oh, I love them.
2 things in video games that'll get Charlie's attention straight off is either an insane asylum or a shark.
Oh wow.
She can't handle video game sharks for some reason.
I love sharks.
Yeah.
I just don't like
Video game ones.
Video game
Yeah,
sharks
she
want to kill you.
she used to own a real life shark, but in video games, I think I'm gonna say it's down to Banjo-Kazooie,
Yeah.
and it's down to that.
Snappers.
Yeah, I didn't mind him so much.
I was playing Thief and I really enjoyed Thief, and I got to like the 4th or 5th chapter, and then it became an Insane Asylum. One of the things that you have to go
I
through. And I was
forgot
like, oh
about
my
that.
god,
I need to play Thief again. I've not played that for ages.
Thief was really good.
Fun fact: last time I played Thief, I blacked out.
Really?
Not from the game. I was sitting playing it. I was really into it, and I must have been sat on my leg, and I went upstairs to go for a wee, and then woke up on the toilet.
It's not that night.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I was playing Thief. I've not played it since.
I heard him shout me, right? And then he
Where am
was
I?
out cold. He was out cold on the toilet. I was like, what the hell do I do? And most adults would ring an ambulance, and I rang my dad.
Yeah. Take pictures. Ring your dad.
It was so funny because all I remember was I was having a wee. I was just stood there like a gentleman, and then I remembered feeling suddenly really, really woozy out of nowhere. So I just remember going, Charlie, and that was it. The next thing I know, I'm waking up going, what? Because I was really cranky when I woke up because she was next to me going, Chico, Chris, wake up.
Jason!
Yeah, honestly, it was like I was being woken up an hour before my alarm. So I woke up like, what?
Wow.
What do
Do
you
you
want?
know how? Like, I assume he was only like blacked out for a few seconds then.
No,
I actually don't know how long it was.
he was gone. Right, he was gone to the point of I finally kind of got him to be slightly awake, and I needed to go and get a phone because I hadn't taken a phone to the bathroom with me.
Who does that?
And then he was slightly propped up on the toilet, but he kept on like going sideways.
Hi, Kitty.
And he wasn't going sideways towards the wall. He was going sideways towards I'm gonna knock myself out.
Oh no, that's the wrong sideways.
Yeah, I'm like, Chico.
I've not actually heard you describe
I
it
had
yet.
to leave him for like whole 5 seconds to run and get a phone. Freaked me the hell out.
Oh god, I feel so
But you
bad
didn't
that
phone an
night.
ambulance, you phoned parents instead.
I phoned my dad to get my dad heading round, and then as soon as I got off the phone to my dad, then I got on the phone to an ambulance.
Yeah, I said to a call 111, which is what we did eventually.
It's not the emergency services, the other one.
Yeah, because I was fine.
But he's not quite dead.
Yeah,
he's
not bleeding.
Not with us anymore.
We don't need
He's
an
still
ambulance.
alive.
He's
But
here.
last question.
Damn it, he's still here. No, but yeah,
You'll get him next time.
Yeah, exactly. No, apparently I must have been sat on like a vein in my leg or something when I was sat playing a game, and then when I stood up to go for a wee and whatnot, all the blood just went nuts and knocked me out. So that was fun. But anyway, yeah, so Thief's a good game. Insane Asylums are scary. Is the moral of that story?
Oh, Chico, what is your game?
My game is actually Resident Evil 7.
See, this is like the series I was going to go for.
Yeah, see, when I was younger, I straight up refused to play Silent Hill because it was too scary. But my friend, I watched.
Means like when he was in his mid-20s.
Of course, back when I was nippy. No, I was probably like 12 or 15 or something. I don't know. But anyway, one of my friends played the Resident Evil series, and I watched him play that, and that was terrifying. And then this new one came out, and I saw. Remember when the kitchen demo came out?
Yes.
On PlayStation, which turned into Resident Evil 7. But at the time, we didn't know, and it looks so cool. Visually, it looks awesome, and it's the first Resident Evil. I've not finished it yet, but because I've been playing it in VR, which is another reason why I love it, because it is so terrifying. Like, I don't like scary games, but there's something about this one that
I don't like scary games more, and I'm like, hey, you need to play it. I want to see what's going on.
Yeah, exactly. She likes to watch scary games, so I have to play this bloody thing, right? And it's so damn scary because you're in someone's house who you don't want to be there. You don't want to meet them, and everything is creepy about the situation. Absolutely everything. But because it's in VR as well, it's extra immersive. I've not played it without VR, I don't think. But yeah, so that's my favorite. I think it's a strong game. It's probably the best one I've seen in the series because it's had its ups and downs. Apparently 6 was downright awful.
6 apparently wasn't great. 5 was great though.
Yeah, I enjoyed bits of 5 that I've played with Charlie. At first I didn't like it, but then I found out you basically have to play it in co-op or it's next to unplayable because the AI is stupid.
The co-op made it amazing. The AI is stupid. You literally just be shooting.
Yeah, that's the issue I had, is that the AI just wasn't being helpful. But apparently the only thing that I remember about Resident Evil 6 is the highly obscene front cover, which looks like a giraffe getting some mouth love.
Oh yeah,
it's a very unfortunate logo. But what can you do about that apart from not publish it? But whatever. So yeah, I think I'm going to go Resident Evil 7 Biohazard, which, interesting fact for people out there who don't know, in Japan Resident Evil is called Biohazard. So in Japan they called this one Biohazard 7 Resident Evil. There you go.
Good fact.
There you go. Factoid. So yeah, that's us two done. Charlie, what is your favourite horror game?
My favourite horror game is going to win this category.
Yeah.
I can guarantee.
Yeah, we believe you. We believe you.
Thousands wouldn't.
You know why?
Why?
Because I was going with Until Dawn, and it's already got a vote.
Oh wow!
Now you got to go something else.
So yeah, I like Until Dawn because
I have another one that we could go with.
You have to change it.
Okay, you have to change it.
Yeah, of course you do.
No, we're in an agreement. The idea was we had to get people to agree with our game.
Nope.
This is true. This is kind of true.
It's kind of true.
Yeah. So what we're saying is you're at a disadvantage because there's 2 of us that really like Until Dawn game.
I have a third game that we could throw in though that would maybe sway you.
What's that?
Potentially, and it would be Alien Isolation.
Ooh.
Nah.
No, that is a good shout.
Nah.
You know what's interesting?
Now, Until Dawn was great because it was a teen horror movie as a game.
Yeah, you kind of play it, don't you? It's
Hayden
Panettiere.
Yeah.
Panettone.
Yep, it had her.
Haley Panettone.
We like her. And I managed to finish it.
Save the Wendigo, save the world.
Also a plus. And it was just a really good story.
It's always a plus if you finish a game.
Yeah, it's a bonus. It's hard not to finish that one.
I've managed to finish. That was one of the first that Chico witnessed me finishing, so he bought me another horror game, which I have not finished.
What was that
Which
one?
was the other?
You bought me Project Zero.
Oh yeah, we did play a lot of that. That was our first series on the gaming channel on YouTube.
That was the first. We did one recording session where, here you go, this is the background for it. We got stuck on the level.
Oh God!
About 3 hours of
Jesus.
footage, which had to be condensed down to like a 15-minute episode, and it still had not enough footage because it was just us lost on the lost.
Yeah, we were entirely.
It was no longer scary because we were so pissed off.
It was entirely like we just couldn't find anything we needed.
We're trying to do it without cheating, and then in the end we're like, right, we have literally been doing this recording for 3 hours. We have no usable footage. We need to Google to see what we need to do.
Yeah.
There was a door which I must have walked past about 20 times, and we hadn't realised we hadn't been in that door yet.
Yeah, it was ridiculous. It was just in a corner that we kept walking past. We have a question in the chat. Whilst we're on this subject, I'll take the question because it makes sense at the moment. It says, do you think if the Silent Hill franchise was in development now, Resident Evil would stand a chance against it? Because remember what Silent Hills was going to be. Do you remember? We played PT? And that was a Silent Hills demo. With Norman Reedus was going to be in it.
Would have been the better series.
I think it would have, because as a game, like the game itself, like I said, I refused to play it as a kid because it was so damn scary. But I have watched people play it since, and again, it's suspense. A lot of these games seem to be the more suspenseful ones are the scarier ones. Like Alien Isolation, that's its main thing, is that it's so damn scary because you're just worried it might see you. It's not the fact that it has seen you.
I don't like as much as a horror game because it's so shooty.
Yeah.
So you feel like if you've got a bullet, you're safe. Whereas
the new one doesn't feel like that at all, though. The new one feels like even though you got a gun, you better bloody well hope you hit what you're hitting.
I never felt like that in the first 3 Resident Evils either. Like the first one in the house, I never felt safe if I had a gun either way.
I think it's because ammo and stuff is so limited.
Yeah,
like, they're really
you didn't
good
have
at
that much ammo.
Yeah. While Silent Hill has always been fully suspenseful, as far as I know, and more otherworldly, I think. It's
I remember playing Silent Hill for the first time, and it was that suspenseful because they have and you can't really see anything.
The fog,
so it's literally you can see about 3 feet in front of you, and you're holding a because you haven't got a good weapon.
Yeah.
And I was like, I don't feel safe at all.
Yeah, it's so scary.
Oh, you know another good horror game?
What's that?
Zombie U. Not Zombie for the PS4.
Oh, of course, I forgot about that.
But Zombie U was amazing.
I've not played this
Zombie
one,
U. Oh, you need to play it. Do you have a Wii U?
I don't, sadly. I should get one.
We lend ours. It's such a good game. Basically,
it's better than the PS4 one because you have to look at the controller to look at your inventory.
Oh, okay. So you have to look away, and then
yeah, and there's things like, for example, if you need to put a key code into a door, what will happen is you'll press OK on the pad, and then your pad will turn into a keypad, and the screen on the TV will turn to like a forward-facing camera, so you can see what's behind you. And you can just see the zombies. Cool. It doesn't pause it, so you can see these guys getting closer and closer as you're frantically trying to put in a password, which you don't know with the pin number always. Sometimes you have to kind of guess it, or sometimes
awesome.
You have some of the digits. So you're like, it might be this, and it's so panic-inducing. But it's really good because it's set in London as well, so it feels a bit more.
Oh, cool.
It feels a bit more realistic to me in the sense of because I can relate to being in London, being in the underground, thinking what would happen if something happened down here. You know, you'd be trapped, and it's so creepy.
The funniest thing about that game was Chico plays games, and then a new game gets released, and he puts the game down, and he never goes back to it.
Yeah, usually.
I do the same. I think everyone does because we all buy so many games these days. But he did that with this, and God, are we talking like a year later? You went back to the game.
It's probably literally a year later, yeah.
And we didn't know, but he'd saved it 5 minutes from the end. He turned the game
Oh, really?
I was in the final stretch. Literally, I was at the base of a building, And what I had to do was get to the top of the building and get carried away in a helicopter. That was it.
And that was it.
And I did it. And it wasn't even like it was a 20-story building. It was a 2. It was a 2-story building. So it was like I think it was like a watchtower in the Tower of London or something like that. You know, nothing massive.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So but it was really cool because you had like the Queen's Guard in Busby's, and you get to go in like the royal cellars and stuff. You know, like the bunkers that they have, and it was such a cool. I'm gonna replay that. It was the corgis. Yeah, we learned about the YouTuber Robaz because of that game. He's really, really funny. If you've not seen him, he's this Swedish guy who's not PewDiePie.
Watch the Zombie U series.
Yeah, the Zombie U series. It's so good.
That was the thing that got me into Let's Plays.
Yeah, same actually.
Really?
I wasn't into Let's Plays before that at all. I didn't understand why people would watch people play games. And now, look how things have changed. It's like we watched his series doing that because it was so damn funny, and I was completely hooked on Let's Plays. So because of that, I learned about Game Grumps and all that kind of stuff. And so it really did open up a whole new world of things.
It's always interesting to figure out how people got into this kind of stuff, because
it really is.
Even I'm the same. When I first started like watching people, I didn't really understand that much why people did it.
Yeah, because I used to have pupils all the time in class watching Let's Plays, and like, why are you watching people play games? I don't get it.
Also, that game is one of the few games that we're evenly matched in the multiplayer.
Oh, the multiplayer? Yeah, tell
really?
about the multiplayer sec. Let's have a drink.
Yeah, so the multiplayer isn't on PS4, and that is a big shame because it's such a good part of the game.
Is it not?
But there is like 2 games I would say we are equally matched. We are equally matched on Mario Kart, and we are equally matched on Zombie U, and that's because it's completely different. The person who's playing on the screen is attacking the zombies, and the person who's using the gamepad is controlling the zombie horde.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, so because I'm quite good at
Hey kitty.
See that kitty cat.
It's a kitty cat.
Because I'm quite good at like the whole logic behind and problem solving, I can figure out where I need to place zombies when I need to place them to overwhelm the player. But because he's quite good at shooting games, he can try and take down my zombies.
What about if you play the other way around though?
Oh no, yeah, that ends.
Yeah,
because
badly.
Even though he is not as tactical, I cannot shoot for shit.
Yeah, I'm terrible at like that kind of tactical kind of stuff. So I'm already bad to start with. But yeah, as Charlie says, if she aims a gun, she's gonna miss. It's just how it works.
Instant advantage there for you.
Yeah, exactly. But it's fun. I mean, it's just a shame the game. I think it sold well enough, but it didn't do really well, and I think it deserves more recognition than it gets. I mean, they re-released it on the PS4 some years later called Zombie with an I instead of Zombie U, because obviously it's not on the Wii U anymore. Yeah. But it was refreshing to see that kind of game on a Nintendo console, because remember, this is just after the Wii, the absolutely world's most family-friendly console that was filled with a lot of bloatware and rubbish as well. And then the Wii U came out, had quite a strong starting lineup and adult games that single player people can play, and this is one of the best ones. And the concept was great, because every time you keep, if you die, that's it, that character is dead. But you come back as somebody else from the starting point, and then you can go and get your backpack full of your old stuff if you want.
It's almost like the Dark Souls style of
kind of, except for the fact that when you get back to your backpack, it's still on you, who is now a zombie. So you've got that to deal with as well. So, you know, it's really, really interesting. Plus, I mean, if you've died, it means you're probably in a difficult area. So if you're already trying to deal with what you were dealing with before, and you've got your former self fighting you, you can't get your stuff back. You know, so it's a really cool concept.
I imagine you'd have a choice to make then. So could you actually just progress without getting your back?
Oh yeah, if you want, but
so you've got that choice to make.
You do have that choice, but you really want your stuff.
The weapon is very British. The original starting weapon is always a cricket bat.
Yes,
obviously,
always a cricket bat. You've got to go full Shaun of the Dead, which is crazy satisfying to use.
But then there is a nightmare mode or whatever it's called, and you just have one life.
I forgot about that, like a survival mode.
Yeah.
Yeah, you have like a high score, so you can see who does it. I forgot actually. Yeah, it shows you on one of the walls somewhere. It's painted on, like in the game, the ranks.
Oh,
which is really cool.
Sounds really awesome. Yeah. I like games when they do that.
Yeah, it's nice when they have that kind of integration going on. But yeah, so all right, let's decide then. Best game. Excuse me, best game in the horror franchise.
Until Dawn.
Until Dawn.
No? I went Until Dawn as well.
Yeah. Okay. I think.
But it depends though, because Until Dawn's great, but then obviously other people will disagree because not every. based games as much.
Yeah. Well, so I think,
but it's only fighting Res Evil 7. You don't need to.
This is
they
true.
are the finalists.
but see, I'm thinking replayability as well, though.
Yeah,
you
Until
can
Dawn.
keep on replaying Until Dawn because you might
Actually,
have killed everybody.
you've got me there, yeah, because Resident Evil 7, I'm guessing you've got one end goal. Actually, no, to be fair, apparently Resident Evil 7 is quite short, although I've not finished it yet, but you do replay it a lot because a lot of different things can happen. So really, they might be quite similar games, thinking about it.
Maybe.
Where you've got one goal, but that goal can be achieved in so many different ways. And it's got the bonus of VR. You get to be more immersed in it. But I think Until Dawn VR would be terrifying.
Until Dawn VR was terrifying.
Oh, well, yeah, there is a VR Until Dawn game, but it's Rush of Blood. It's not the same thing.
Yeah. Think about this.
Yep.
But after I will beg to differ.
Oh, what? Have I forgotten something?
You have forgotten something. It is probably our favourite clip on the Twitch channel.
Okay.
Scared you?
Oh wait, there was a second.
Scared me.
There was a second one. I forgot. It was called the
Impatient.
The Impatient. So speaking of asylums, scaring Charlie, yeah, the VR one was based in the asylum, called The Impatient, and I forgot about that. And Charlie,
I almost mentioned this before.
Yeah,
just for you screaming.
She legit screamed, and I forgot about that.
It's like the girliest scream I've ever heard.
It really was, and you've only done it about 3 times so far playing games.
Right. But just for the reaction in the background of you going, "You scared me." Scared you.
Right, I'm gonna say we've got another question come in. It says, "Hope one of the developers do this based on a series called Supernatural. It can be co-op. You and your friends playing one of the brothers and meeting other hunters in the world. You'll have your book of spells and facing every supernatural out there. Of course, the game would be updated with events and new evils to deal with. Imagine these stunning graphics with an open world game like that, with these ideas and gameplay. You can even fight other hunters if you had to. That would be a pretty cool concept. I think that's relating to the Zombie U multiplayer. I think that sounds pretty cool. Like putting it into more of a fantasy supernatural kind of world.
I don't think that'd be scary. Basically, once anything gets opened up into open world, I think it moves from the realms of scary game to like Skyrim-y game.
Yeah, I guess because
I love Skyrim. Skyrim is one of my all-time favorite games.
It might have elements of horror in there, but the fact that it's bigger makes it less scary.
Yeah, because the intimacy itself is scary, isn't it? The fact that it's so close and danger's always near in an intimate, closer game. Whereas in an open world, you got sections you need to avoid.
You've seen the meme, I assume, when it's like how I play games versus how I play horror games, and it's like shows how you play games, and it's like a big squiggly line, and you check everywhere, and then it's how I play horror games, and it's like point A, point B, straight line.
Yeah, pretty much.
It's best way to do it. As soon as you
make it into a squiggly line, it is no longer a horror game.
Pretty much. It's the claustrophobia you'd like in
Yeah.
So if you open that out, then it becomes less claustrophobic. You're kind of a bit safer because you're like, I can go somewhere that's not scary and just rest.
Yeah, which is what I would do. I would find a little tavern and I would live in there.
That's a good idea, actually. You'd be a big old drunk. You'd just be scared and drunk, sat in the corner.
Drunk. There's food, there's beer. It's
you drunk
they
and
could do an It Follows horror game.
That'd be pretty cool, actually. No, that's Slenderman.
No.
That's pretty much Slenderman.
It's really not Slenderman at all. You have not watched It Follows, have you?
I watched it. I don't remember it, but I watched it.
Okay. It Follows?
I can't remember. I don't think I've seen it.
Okay.
Yes.
It Follows was basically, think of it as like an STD. It was the ultimate STD.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So if you
I think I remember
somebody who it was following, then it now followed you instead of them.
Oh yeah, I remember.
So yeah, the only way to get rid of it was to go and sleep with somebody else. But if it then caught somebody, and obviously when you got caught, you got killed, it would then follow the person before that.
Okay.
So yeah, basically you want the biggest chain of people between you and it as possible, but it just constantly walks in a straight line towards you. So you would never be able to just like chill out because it will be following.
That would be quite creepy. Can you imagine if it was persistent as well? So even when you're off the game, it's still coming towards you.
Well, in the It Follows film, it was obviously constantly coming towards you, but it was a shapeshifter, so you didn't know what it looked like.
Yeah.
But
okay.
That's
you'd
terrible.
see somebody across like the field coming in a straight direction towards you, and you'd be like, yeah, that bitch be it.
That bitch be close.
So yeah.
Right, we'll probably start wrapping up soon. So if any of you guys watching have got any questions, drop them in now. We can try and get to them before we finish up. But for now, folks, I want to ask you guys, what are you looking forward to in this next month of releases?
Yeah, I don't think we've actually spoke about what we're looking forward to.
Yeah, I don't think we've not yet.
Not yet. So this is the time. There's a big one, obviously, a massive one coming out in October 26th. I think you're all going to want to get at some point, which is Red Dead Redemption.
That's the main one that I'm super excited about this month.
I actually haven't played the first one much. I've played bits. Exactly. That's
you need to go back and play this.
It's meant to be
so
amazing.
Good. Especially that you're now back into like GTA 5 and stuff.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
You'll appreciate that kind of thing again.
The Rockstar world.
Yes.
But number 2 looks fantastic.
On a horse.
Yeah, I'm fine with that. I love horses. So, I mean, is that what you're looking forward to most?
That is the thing this month. Yes, the biggest thing I'm looking forward to is that, very much so, because I'm an RPG fan, a big RPG fan, and that is meant to be epic. The amount of detail they've gone into as well. If you've read about what they've been doing with it, is
I've only heard about one, and it's quite funny.
The horse thing, I imagine.
I was going to say, apparently, when it's cold, the horse's balls shrivel. So that's detail.
They've gone super detailed on everything.
Oh man, I love that. Somebody's been hired, and it was their job that day to make sure that the horse's balls animate properly in the cold. Oh man, just sometimes when you're having a bad day at work, just remember that that's not your job.
Yeah, that is not your job.
Charlie, you got anything you're looking forward to?
You know what? When you guys were talking, Ben, I was like, oh shit, what am I looking forward to in October? Because we all know what I'm really looking forward to is Pokemon Let's Go,
which is
in
March
November.
or November.
So I was like, just check what's out in October, yeah. And oh my god, I'm actually looking forward to a game which I am watching right now. Called Do Not Feed the Monkeys.
What is this game? Is that a zoo game?
I've not even heard of that one.
No, it's going to be released on Steam at the end of this month. Right. And it says, a digital voyeur simulator where you watch strangers through surveillance cameras invade their privacy and witness the most intimate moments. But don't interact with the subjects. Anything could happen if you dare feed monkeys.
Wow.
What? That is me all over that game.
That sounds like a Watch Dogs minigame. That's crazy.
I want to see you play this.
Yeah,
I want to see it.
I do.
I might have to.
So they choose the game.
It just says October. It doesn't say when it's coming out. It just says October.
Oh, well, hopefully it's soon enough.
I hope it's still coming out in October. I mean, we're in October. Give me a goddamn release!
To be fair, it's October 7th. We're 1 week in. You've got time.
Searching for Do Not Feed the Monkeys.
That's going to be a funny one to search for. But
you can tell by that face.
That is a monkey-focused face right there, if I ever saw one.
So, Chico, what are you looking forward to?
Well, obviously I'm looking forward to Red Dead as well. But
and Don't Feed the Monkeys.
And Don't Feed the Monkeys, of course.
Obviously,
that one goes without saying. I can't believe you even brought it up. But I am most looking forward to Starlink Battle for Atlas. Have you guys seen about this?
No, I've not explained.
Wait,
it's like the Toys to Life one, the spaceship.
Yeah, you keep on going on about it.
I do. It looks awesome. It's been described as a mix of No Man's Sky and Star Fox. But it's real toys. It's real ships that you use in the game. Because the Toys to Life series is pretty much dead with Disney Infinity and Lego Dimensions and all that stuff being what it is now. It's cool to see this kind of thing come back in a different format because the ships look awesome. And apparently, if you get it on the Switch, which I might do, you get Star Fox to play. And you get his ship.
Oh, I see it. Yeah, I just looked at the picture. It looks awesome.
It looks really, really good, and the footage I've seen of it looks fun. Which is it's a surprise because the last time they tried to do a decent Star Fox game that wasn't one of the classics, it was dire. So it'd be nice to see a good version of it. I'm excited to play it because I love that kind of game, that No Man's Sky style, Star Citizen style stuff. I really, really enjoy them. It's just the problem is they're normally quite heavy time sinks. Because you're literally exploring a universe. So you spend a lot of time, even just going place to place can take a while. Because you can warp to certain spots and whatnot, but then you've got to travel to whatever planet you need to go to and refuel and all the things you don't normally do in games you have to do. So you really have to say, okay, today I'm playing an exploration game and that's the day gone. You have to just accept it. But yeah, so I'm looking forward to that one most. I think I will get the Switch version. Hopefully it runs okay.
When's that out?
That is out October 16th, so just over...
Oh, cool. It's not too long away.
Yeah, 10, 11 days, 9...
In which case, you're going to have to wait until after the holidays.
Of course, I might get a Japanese version. Ooh. Japanese version. Yeah, so that's pretty much what I'm looking forward to next month. And I think, is that pretty much us, do you reckon?
Well, I think we've not done our shout out of the month yet. Now, obviously, Nightow1 would be the shout out.
He's right there.
And what we're going to be like is, hey, look, go check out Nightow1,
There you
who's
go,
down
got the
here.
right direction. Yay! He's happy.
Yep. Go check him out. And if you go back to the beginning of this, you will find out why. Or you could just listen to his, chatter that's been going on, and that will tell you why.
Spiel.
But for my random shout out of the month, I think we should be shouting out Robaz and his Zombie U.
Yeah, that's probably a good choice. So we went on about it.
Yeah,
it's
a very good idea.
Playthrough, because that is some good watching. That is like 20 episodes of just fun,
and it is all funny because he's a Swedish YouTuber. He's not an irritating one. Like, there's some like PewDiePie and whatnot who can get annoying. Oh, Pixie's hosting. Thank you for the host, Pixie.
Look at this, he's just breaking the podcast.
I know. The format is ruined. No, it's fine. Thank you very much for the host. I like that. But yeah, so if you go to just search for Robaz, it's Robbaz on YouTube, and look at his Zombie U playlist. It's so damn funny. And like I said, it's the thing that got us into Let's Plays completely. So without that, it wouldn't be this.
Because without that, there wouldn't be this. And without this, there wouldn't be Nightow. And without Nightow, there wouldn't be Pixie Pie. Oh my god.
Oh my god.
Twitch would not exist.
Twitch would not exist.
YouTube would be
Twitter,
dead. We make everything happen everywhere.
Oh, Robaz did anyway.
Robaz did, yes. But yeah, so is that us pretty much?
Yeah. I think that is us.
I think we spoke about everything.
I think so. Yeah, I think so. I mean, if you else you want to chuck in.
Well, Chico didn't say the word.
He didn't say the word.
Was I supposed to say awesome?
No. You may have said that word though at some point, but you didn't say the special word that we were going to do things
it's definitely going to happen.
Was it
so
douche?
that was the word.
What words did I say often?
No, it wasn't. We thought it was more time related. Say it.
Time related.
Yeah.
Yeah, say the word.
Which word?
Yeah.
Night.
I mean, what is the big thing happening this month?
Halloween. You soft suds. That was good. You didn't break the shit. I love it. Well done, folks. Well done.
She's so bad. She's like, I can see her just giggling.
Yeah, she just totally is awful. You're the worst mannequin in the universe, woman. God, if you were getting attacked by a bear, you'd be dead now because you didn't play dead.
But we thought that would be an obvious word that you'd eat.
This is Halloween.
But no.
Oh, well, she's frozen. Look at her. Goofy hole. So, yeah, that was
a good one.
That was a good one. It was a good one. Well done.
You're right there.
There's a whole, 7 seconds in that one. Before we go, Max650 is saying, Game of the Year, number 1, Red Dead. Number 2, God of War. Number 3, Fallout 76. What do we think? Do you reckon they're 3 contenders for Game of the Year?
Red Dead and God of War, definitely. I don't know about Fallout.
Yeah.
Waiting.
See, I'm alternative. Because I'm always like, I love Ni no Kuni 2.
Oh, so that's a good choice.
Ni no Kuni 2 was amazing.
Did you finish that?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
And then I like watching random stuff. Like I'm watching Jacksepticeye play Not Tonight at the moment.
Yeah, that looks like a pretty cool game.
I got so annoyed because he did the full Spider-Man series. So he did episode 1 of Not Tonight, episode 2 of Not Tonight, and then I had to wait 3 weeks.
Yeah, that's wait for him to finish Spider-Man.
And I was getting really annoyed because I check his channel every day, and I'm like, Argh! It's like when the Game Grumps stopped doing
Mario Maker.
And I kept on checking for months, and then they came back with Mario Maker because they're like, this is our best ever series, so we decided to come back to it. They did 3 episodes and started off again.
Yeah, it should have been permanent forever.
Nothing but Mario Maker.
Nothing but Mario. Yes, so alright, well I think, hang on a sec, you think Pillars of Eternity 2? I've not played Pillars of Eternity 2. Have you guys played that?
I have not, sadly.
So sorry, Mac, we can't give any input on that. It's just asking if we think it's difficult to learn to play. I'll have a look at it and see if it is.
If you are used to our gameplay, Mac 650, you would understand that Chico doesn't even know how to play reverse.
Everything is difficult for me to play. Oh, speaking of things to play and being difficult, the Puyo Puyo World Championships esport is happening. That is a real life thing, and it covers every country, every state in US, and every prefecture in Japan.
Is it just Puyo Puyo though, or is it Puyo Puyo?
It's just Puyo Puyo.
I'm shit at Puyo Puyo.
But can you imagine that as an esport? Have you ever played Puyo Puyo?
Interesting choice. Yeah. Interesting choice.
All games are difficult here. You're damn right, Pixie. All games are difficult on this channel. But okay,
not wrong.
I think if we've covered anything, you got anything else you want to say, Nightow? Anything else you want to add to the situation?
I don't think so. I think we've covered everything.
Okay,
very much. Thank you very much for joining us.
Yes, thank you very much.
Pleasure. Thank you for having me on.
And thanks for dealing with all the teething issues we've had, because obviously this is the first time we've had somebody else on it, and it'll get better over time. But with this first one, it's been a bit difficult setting it up and preparing and whatnot. But it'll get easier as time goes on.
Hopefully it looks and sounds good to the people watching. Because on mine it looks all right.
Yeah, hopefully it does. Yeah.
Right. So we're going to say goodbye to all the YouTube people out there.
Yes.
Thank you very much for checking us out. If you check us out on Twitch on the first Sunday of every month, you can hear this live. But yes, so YouTube, bye. Have they gone? Has YouTube gone?
Not yet. Everybody say bye and wave. Say bye, YouTube.
Bye, YouTube.
Bye, YouTube.
Have a beautiful time.
Have a beautiful time.